All right, y'all. Welcome to Sunday Night Computer Science Live. Yeah, I just finished up a CSEC live, so we looking good here. We looking good. Um, and we are continuing. Yeah, we're doing work. We're doing work. We're doing work. What did I say? Let me see. We are ready. Well, Javish and Spanish. I don't know how let's reach us so fast, boy. Jeez. Way. Javish Spanish. Now look Geo there too. All serious about life, boy. All serious about life. Akinda, you were here last week? Can't remember. All serious about life. Alright, what I'm supposed to do now is a linear search, a function in linear search. Hey, look, Giovan, how you going? Everything cool? Wonderful. Right, so I'll put the link for the PCSG websites in the chat for a minute, please, because I think I had it pasted somewhere, but I can't remember where I pasted because I always be copying and pasting stuff all over. So welcome everybody to Make It Simple TT in collaboration with PCSG, Private Caribbean Study Groups, and we are doing computer science on a Sunday night for an hour each time. And you came for the memes?
Lie again. Lie, 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 lie.
You know you came because the first live was just so lit, and it was like, let me see if it is if it is be like this all the time. Yeah, all right. So last week I told you all I'm going to do um going and do a linear search with a function. Yeah, functions and linear search. So this is what we're gonna go to. Who was there? Who I can't remember who was there from last week. This is unit one. This is unit one. Um but it could help you if you know this too for unit two. Yeah. All right, so let me get more. All right, so there's the PCSG website here. Thank you very much, Javish. You are a lifesaver. No. It pop. No. The PCSG website earlier. Akinda, when I have in Unit 2 lives, I don't know if I have any Unit 2 lives this wrong. Well, right now, probably closer to exams, I'll have Unit 2 lives, but I'll have Unit 2 content that you could find on the my website. If you go on my website, makeITsimpleTT.com, you will see a page called videos. So you'll see this page here called videos. I'm going to click on videos. It will show you all the videos that I have. And when you go to Unit 2, COMP SCI, keep COMP SCI Unit 2. What? More videos? I've been hacked. Okay, no, it's here. Right here. Right here. So I have some theory videos and I have some multiple choice videos, but I didn't do any past papers yet. I have some past paper videos coming up. So I'm going to keep my COMP SCI Unit 2 videos. It's just basically module 1 so far with all the code. But I have stuff for the theory and I have stuff for the networking. It's just that I need time to produce all those videos because producing videos does take long. Just in case you didn't know. So I'll get it. The PCSG link in another chat in another video I did. I'll see if I could find one of them. Unit 2, IT Unit 1 videos. PCSG videos. All right, cool. So one from last week should have it. This one should have it. Next week. I remember last week you asked me how to. Let me see if I could open it up in YouTube and find the link. Asked me how to do a linear switch. Did I put it here? No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, I can't even find the link. Yeah. Not too sure. All right, so yeah, those of you all inside here waiting for the COMP SCI, the linear search. Show of hands. Let me know that you're here. Trying to remember the names of the folks from last week, but I real bad with names, so it don't matter. Gio, you know how to do a linear search from the day you was born. From the day you were born. All looking for array examples. No, this is functions examples, functions, linear search function. Let's see how you could find it. Okay. Right, so the unit 1 COMP SCI, you all inside here? Are you here? Are you here? All right, Amira, I'm seeing you. Okay. Well, if there's one, the show must go on. The show must go on. That's not the screen I wanted. This is the screen I wanted. Yeah, all right, cool. All right, so we last week I went through linear searching and I went through functions. I went through functions and I explained functions to you all, make sure you understand how functions work and whatnot and yada yada yada. So now we're going through how to do a linear search within a function. Now when you have a function, you have to send parameters, or you have to send values to it for it to be able to do its job. It does its job and then it sends back an answer to you. So when it does its job and sends back an answer to you, you want to get back that answer in a particular form. So let's say we have a main here. I have the main. And the main is going to have 3 variables. One is called location, LOC for lock, location. And the next one is numbers, which is an array of 5 characters. And then the 5 characters, the 5 numbers are 1, 2, 3, well, 5 numbers there, right? And then I have a variable called search. The reason I have a variable called search is because I need to use this variable to figure out what I want to find. So I'm creating a prompt to ask the user, please enter a value to search for, and then I'm scanning it into the variable called search. Clear? Easy. So this is going to ask the user, give me the number that you want to search for. Once I get the number that I want to search for, I now have to call this function called linear search. Well, when I'm calling the function called linear search, what I'm doing is I'm sending 3 things to it. I'm sending numbers. Numbers here is the name of the array. But notice I'm not sending the... Alright, Javish, I see you get it. Thanks. I'll plug it just now. Numbers here is not the name of the array. It's, well, sorry, numbers here is the name of the array, but you're not putting the size because we're sending the actual size of the array second, and then search we send in third. But remember, search is the actual value that the person asks to search for within this array. So imagine we have this array and we want to search through to find a value, and we want to get back the location that we found the value. So we call the linear search function, and when we call the whole linear search function, the linear search function will do its job and store it in a variable called lock or location. So what happens is this. Int linear search as the name of the variable. So what does int signify? Anybody could tell me what int signifies? Anybody? Right, so it signifies the data type that is going to be returned. So int is what I'm trying to return. So when I do this calculation, I am trying my best to return a value that is an integer. Now, this part here is where I put in the parameters that are coming in. So the things that are coming in would be an array. What is the name of the array? Inside the function, the name of the array is called ARR or R. Ha, ha. That was a joke, and you all were like, but that's okay. I'm cool. Right. So inside the function, ARR is the name of the array. Inside the main, however, the name of the array is numbers. So when I send numbers here, what I'm doing is I'm sending it, and it's being renamed to ARR inside here. Notice when I put the function, when I put the parameters or the parameters that are being passed into the function or sent to the function, I have to put ARR, open brackets, close brackets, because that tells the function, hey, this thing is not just a normal integer, it's an array of integers. But the problem with C is that you can't send the size because, well, it'll get vexed with you. You can't send the size inside the brackets, so you have to send the size outside the bracket. So that's why I have int size. Int size means that it's expecting a number. What number is it getting? Well, it's really getting the number 5 from here. Because again, the number 5 from here, 5 going up to here, and it's being renamed to size. And then our next variable called search is here. So search is the same as search. Search is search. Search, search, search is search, right? So, right, so everybody understands this line here, because this line here is very important. If you don't understand this line, then it wouldn't really make much sense there, because you won't understand what is coming into the function. Whenever you're doing a function, you must always know what is coming in and what is going out. If you could make sense of what is going in and coming out, you have a better chance of working it out. So everybody understands that line? Da, 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 da. All right, cool. So it's going good. All right, safe. Dog. Wow. There's a lot of right. Next is int C. We create a variable called C, and we're going to create a for loop that's going to go from 0 to size. The reason I'm using size is because the size that I want to use is the size that I got here. So this size here would have come from the main, and the main would have sent the number 5. So this 5 here is what size is up here, and this size here is the same size as being used inside the for loop. So therefore, this loop is going to go from 0 to C is less than 5. Clear? Crystal? Cake? Cake. Eat up the cake. Enjoy the cake. All right. So the for loop is going to run 5 times. The exact same thing that usually happens in our main, same thing that we're doing here. We're checking to see if ARR location C is equal to search, aka the search value that was sent to the function. And then This is the difference from doing a linear search inside the main and doing a linear search in a function. In a function, you have to return something. And what I'm returning is I'm returning C. When I say I'm returning C, what I'm doing is if I found it, if the number that is in that part of the location and the number that is in search, if they match, then I'm going to return C, because C is the location of the value, not the actual value. So let me see if I could illustrate that a little bit for you so that you could understand what's going on. So this array is going to have 5 spaces. And it has the numbers 43 and whatever, right? So 40, 31, 43, 29, 12, and 18, right? Whatever. Doesn't matter. What is going to happen is that the size here is going to come in and say, hey, I think I know what's going on here. I'm going from 0 to size. When you go from 0 to size, it's going to change the value of C. So it'll be, is ARR location 1 equal to the search value? What is the search value? Let's say the person put in the search value as 12. This thing here is going to check to see, is the value at location 1, which is 31, is that equal to 12? The answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is no. Yes! Because the answer is yes, it's going to return the C. The C here is actually location 3 out of 4. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is the one that's going to get returned as C. Now, if this whole for loop goes through the whole process of looping through the whole thing and nothing happens, meaning it reaches to the end and the loop stops, then it'll be like, all right, return -1. Because if I return -1, that's a negative to say, well, hey, this thing not working. We good? Y'all following that? Any questions? All right. So now I'm going back to the code. So I'm putting enter the value to search for, scan, search, send, call the function. So the function is going to do the search for me, and it's going to send back the location. Now this location could be 1 or 2 values. It could be 0 to 4, which will be it found it at location 0, found it at location 1, location 2, or location 3, or location 4. Or it could return -1. If it returns -1, clearly it went through all the spaces in the array and didn't find anything. So then then if I see location comes back as -1, then I'll put the value was not found. But if location comes back as a number that's not -1, clearly we found it somewhere. So I'll just put I found value at location %d lock location. So let's run this code now and see what will happen. Let me see the numbers I'm looking for. 43, 23, 56. All right, so it's going to ask me, please enter the value to search for. Now I know the array has a 23 in it. So if I put 23, what location am I supposed to get back? If I use 23, what location am I supposed to get back? Yep, I'm supposed to get back location 1. Well done, well done. So I put in 23 and I press enter and I found the value at location 1. So that's correct. Good. So now let me run it again. And let's say I put, I'm searching for 27. What location am I supposed to get? Location 4, right? So I'll put 27 and I'll get location 4. Great. Now let's see if I put in a number that is not found there. And let's say I put in 77. 77 doesn't exist in the array. So what's supposed to happen is that the array, the function is going to search through the whole array, check to see if it finds a 77, and if it doesn't find the 77, it's going to now return the value was not found. And that is how you do a linear search in a function. Do you have any questions for me? Nope. All right. So now, let me show you how to do this with parallel arrays now. So let me see if I could get a parallel array. Do I even have parallel arrays? Hold on. Mm, mm. For the hospital question, my try and find the hospital question. I do a parallel array example. Okay. All right, so let me hear what they want me to do now. All right, so the questions of parallel arrays have been answered. Ooh, anything else that you need to know, or you want me to move on to reading from a file? Or y'all okay with reading from a file? It's up to y'all to tell me what you want to do. You want to go through reading from a file? Okay. Mm. Mm. All right, so reading from a file it is. Reading from a file. Do I have that? Reading from a file example. All right, cool. Okay, found it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to understand how a file is structured. So usually a file is structured in a text file. That's usually the basic way that you do it. And there would be something like called an input file, and any input file would have numbers in it. Now, the best way to have numbers in a file is to separate it by spaces or character returns, aka a enter, right? If you're separated by spaces or enters, then you should be in a better place when it comes to reading the files. If you put like two spaces, the computer will think that the second space is a value. And if you use commas or whatnot, you have to tell the computer to exclude the comma or something like that. So once you separate the file with spaces, your life is easy. when you're opening a file, you have to say file in. In is the asterisk is like a pointer that says, okay, name the file in. So if you change this from in to potato, the file will be named potato. Doesn't matter, right? But I'm going to leave it as in because in is just nicer, right? So we're leaving it as in. So the name of the file is in, and then I'm going to use a command called fopen, and I'm opening the file input.txt, and I'm opening it in read mode. R stands for read mode. There's read mode, there's write mode, there's read write, and then there's append. But we just looking at read mode. I think there's a next one called R plus or some kind of thing like that. But just put it in read mode and your life will be easy because we ain't trying to overcomplicate it. Once you open it up in read mode, what is going to happen is that the computer is not going to be able to read through each one of these locations one by one over time. Just so somebody saw a message. Crazy. Alright, so there you go again. Yeah. How do you create the file, Amira? You open up Notepad. So you go press Windows button, type Notepad, and open up Notepad, and then just type the stuff, and then just file, save as, and you're saving the file wherever you want to save it. So using any Notepad, any text editor. Good? All right. Right, so now I have input file and I'm reading it in, again, it's in read mode, so that's cool. And then I have a variable called a, int a. A stands for apple. No, not apple. Is a. Alright, so watch this command here. While exclamation mark FEOF. While it's not the end of the file. While it's not file end of file. For the file input. So the name of the file is in, because I named it in here. So I'm saying while I'm not at the end of the file, for the input file, do. So once this file is not empty, read it. To read from the file, you have to say fscanf. So normally when you're scanning from a user, you put scanf, but this time you're using fscanf. Once you put fscanf, you're saying scan the input file for a particular variable, and you're going to store it in A. So what it's going to do is it's going to go through the file and say, okay, cool, I found the first one, which is 12. Am I at the end of the file? No. I found the second one, which is a 14. Am I at the end of the file? No. Print it out. I found the next one. Am I at the end of the file? No. Am I at the end of the file? No. Am I at the end of the file? No. Am I at the end of the file? No. Print. So each time it's going to look at each variable. Now, even though this one here is on one line and this is on the next line, same thing. No. 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 Alright. That's basically it. So let's run the program and see what happens now. So when I run the program, it's supposed to give me back the exact same numbers that I have in this text file. Did it give me back the exact same numbers? Well, apparently it did. Look at that. 12, 14, 16, 9, 2, 8, 56, 78, 435, 23, 67, 99, 89, and 89. Ta-da! And that's how you read from a file. Now there's a very, 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 very ridiculously important thing that must happen. Wherever you have the program for the file, to read the file, so I have read from file.c here, the input file must be in the exact same folder as that one for it to work. If the input file is not in the exact same folder, then the program won't be able to find where to search for. When I put input.txt, I'm saying look for the input file where I have it right there. If it's not there, somebody will get vexed with you. AKA the compiler. The compiler will say, yo, nope, not working. I don't like that. Yeah. All right, questions? Where you have file in, you said in is just the name you give the file, so you could call it anything you want. Yes. So if I wanted to, I could name this file students, and wherever I have in, I could put students, and I could also put students here. But I just have to remember, whenever I use the file name, whenever I name the file name here, whenever I have to check if it's empty, I have to make sure it's the same name. And if I have to read it, I have to use the same name here. But it's usually a lot easier to use very short terms for your file names because you tend to have to use them a lot in your code and you don't want to put a long word that you might have typographical errors with. So just like in or in one or in two or something like that, shortened terms, it helps a lot when you're doing your code. Yeah, you could call it input. It's no real biggie. Like when you get to doing a lot of code, you tend to try to shorten a lot of the variable names and a lot of the words because it take up a lot of time to type it. As you get like more into coding and you use different languages, some of the languages autofill your stuff here, but you don't really want that. You don't really want that drama in your life. Can you implement a linear search to see if the value is in the file? You could do the linear search to check to see the values in the file, but you should actually load it into either an array or a structure first. Loading the input file into an array or a structure is what makes it searchable. So you don't actually search the file. Files are just loaded into the program manipulates it and then prints it back out to a file. So manipulating, like reading from the file directly is not really efficient because then you kind of miss the whole point of data structures. The point of a data structure is to read the data in and then do some kind of calculation on it. So what I could do is, yeah, so you could read the stuff from a file into an array or into a function. Pretty straightforward, because it's just a loop. The same while loop that I use in there, the same while loop you could use to read stuff in. Alright, I can do, you understand? So just like how you see how I have this basic linear search here. No, I have this linear search function here, right? But I have a set of numbers in an array already, right? Instead of putting the numbers in the array, physical, like forcing the numbers into the array, I could use this same code here. I could take this same code here, read it into, when I do the scanf, I could scan it into the array, and I'll get an array of numbers, and then use the same linear search to search back the array and find the values. But the whole point is, you're not dealing with the file. The file was just for you to get the data into the array, and then you search the array instead. That's what programs are really made of. All right, so before I go, so next week I'll probably start structures with you all, do a little bit of structures with. Yeah, before we go, let's share the PCSG website with you. PCSG is a non-profit youth organization founded by the students for the students as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. PCSG exists to assist CXC students like you and you and you and you and you to achieve excellence with the motto students helping students, right? So most of the work that's done by PCSG is just students helping students. Most of it, you wouldn't believe. So there's this Discord channel that you could go on, and on that Discord channel everybody just kind of share information and talk and whatnot. It's kind of cool. And they have teachers, they could sign up, you could get different pages, you could get different subjects. So you could check for CSEC or you could check for CAPE. And the PCSG has every subject that you could think of. And they have study sessions with students who've already done the subjects and they want to share, they want to help other people. So it's kind of cool. It's really kind of cool. So you're going to want to check them out if you haven't checked them out already. Nice. So that will end tonight's session. Till next week, we will probably go into some reading a file into a data structure like an array or a structure and see how we get things done. So I will make my departure now. Thank you very much for your time, everybody. I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, bye-bye. It was nice. I'll see you on the flip side.